what's up? Today I'm gonna practice piano and play the Beatles song Penny Lane. And how was that? And how was that? Something like that. And at first I want to run home some video online. And this one has summarized everything so well. Musician explains the key change in Penny Lane.
In the key of B, very bright. But then we go to the minor instead, B minor. So we've gone from B major to B minor, really unusual thing to do, and it's just so starkly dark in that moment, which is something we see kind of in the lyrics as well, like bright images contrasted with darker images, creating this sort of sharp contrast. So we get to the minor chord, and then we go through another verse, but when we get to the chorus, it's not in B. Instead, we have a really unconventional key change downwards. Often key changes go in the upwards direction, so you'd be in B, and maybe you'd go up to C, and you'd get this kind of uplift. But instead, they're in B. We go down to A.
So it says what it says is first on B major key and this this is something not ordinary thing, like because it uses a different note on original key. So this is the original key, but using not key note. This is using the same note but minor, same B but B minor. And also this bass part is this is a B key, but on chorus it key change to A. So there's key change B to A, and go back to bass B, da 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 da, and go to chorus again, da 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 da, and on the last chorus, it has another key change. It was A chord chorus. Da 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 da. But go up the key from A to B. Da, da. And then penny rain da 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 da, but penny and then so da da da, and so on the final chorus it is go up, down. So the final chorus is brighter and feels like opened. Like open space or positive or dramatic. So using normal key, lower key, and normal key, and that makes a song so dramatic, even it is not like making something awkward, but it is dramatic. And I did not realize without actually playing and watching the scores, and that really great, that some tricky things but really done naturally. That's why we hear it as pop. Really, we can listen to the song really casually. And also, when we hear deep or deep dive into some specific part, we find something interesting. I think that's really interesting on the Beatles song. And another thing is something related to using the major and minor. Da 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 da. So say hello. Da 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 da. And this uses another non-original key note. Da 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 da. Stop and say hello. Da, da. And this note is really something tricky because it's not on the original key. Da da da. And that's why I feel this is we hear as really famous song, but it has something not usual, like not boring song. Da 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 da. This really small things, small twist. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. And also this unusual note appears after the backing. So we hear the da 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 da, and we are used to our ears used to listen to this kind of note. Da 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 da. So I think this is something great. Like we hear this twist without knowing it. Da 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 da. Really natural. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. And so there's a part that's from B key, and there's minor going to minor key, B minor key, and go back to B major key again, and minor key. Da da da, and da 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 da. Da 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 da. And this part is really great pivot. Connecting the B minor to A. So da 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 da. So for B minor, or for B major, this E major key is a 6 subdominant, and also E is 5 of A. 5-1, so da 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 da. Really connects smoothly. Da 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 da. So E, so 5, 1, And this F sharp 7, it's a end of first chorus. This F sharp is also 5 of fifth of B. Five, 1. So F sharp B. Really connecting smoothly. It's really great. And the piccolo trumpet solo. And how was that? And another E, so E7 is another fifth of A. Da 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 da. And go back to chorus. Da 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 how was that? Da 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 da. And F sharp 7. Da da da. And F to B. It's another da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth to 5 to 1. Really smooth. So it brings up more than the other chorus. So before that it was E, but this is F from F. So from here it step up. And this is great that it's difficult to find where's F sharp. And this is really great that using F sharp that main and using the same code on the coda to last chorus. So F sharp always connect 5 1. So there's A chord, A key, chorus, and da 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 da. And on the A key, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So subdominant, moving subdominant A and subdominant and change to B. And this is using the same way that from A key chorus to go back to bridge, bass. Oh, da 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 da, and using the same way, da 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 da. And go back to move to last chorus. to organize it my mind that it has the really smooth move from A to B key change, and that is good for connecting the first chorus and verse, and also using same way that has the last A chorus to B key chorus. Really interesting and learning a lot from the song. Really interesting. And move to last chorus. Really nice. And also the chord, the key change from A or B, from B to A to B, and also there's a major, minor, major, B major, and B minor. Da, 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 da. I listen this kind of change in Oasis song. Da, 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 da. And also this song has moving bass like da 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 with a this score might mistake. Da 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 da. This is right. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. And suddenly go back to B major key. At the near end is A major key. Da 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 da. This is A key. Da 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 A da, and suddenly da da. And really smooth. That is interesting and special. And on the last, da 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 da. And on the record, the text interview things, the Paul McCartney and producer of the Beatles listened or watched TV, the Bach's song, and that inspires the high pitch trumpet. Da 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 da, and using the piccolo trumpet for the solo and some obligato thing. Da 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 da. And also the composition style like canon like melody come and chase another one that sings, and also like the counterpoint like melody moving and bass moving. I thought that interesting, and I read that descending bass like da 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 da. And this is also Baroque Bach's era style. And also Paul had influenced in the same era Motown bass musicians. And I read that, and that's interesting. That maybe this syncopation, like da 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 da, this kind of rhythm and also the moving bass have some influence. And that makes a real rhythmical ta 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 ta. So when I listen to the song, it's really pop and nice, and also some really hidden secrets, key changes, and moving bass, and combination with melodies, and also what did I say? Moving bass, melody, complex, and key changes, and reasons. I think that's a really interesting things on the song. And I thought that the Beatles are great because the song is really pop. Like we can humming the melody, da 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 da, and I think that's the reason why the other the producer is really great on the composition, but he says they are really great at making really catchy phrases or songs. I think that's a really great things that cannot be run by music theory. So they are great about making great melody, and the other composer or arrangers or support musicians are great about harmonizing or rewriting or arranging song. I think that's a great point of their music. Let's watch this one. This is a video, Paul McCartney's piano lessons.
What? And it's like, well, that doesn't work. What? You know, I meet a lot of young groups and I say, I can't read music or write it. They go, what? And it's like, well, that doesn't work. Well, if you've done this, how could you do it without? But it means that it's here. It's not on a bit of paper. I tell kids who want to learn the piano, I say, okay, here's you go. Start with middle C. We all know that. It's the first thing in a piano lesson. And then think about like the Eddie Cochran thing. I say, well, that's a chord if you play those together. And you just got that. Remember this and that. So you do that, one space, finger, one space, finger. So there you got the chord. I say, you know, we started there. Mm-hmm. And so you could kind of write a song with that. Yeah. But if you just move this up one, it's the same shape. Yeah. You've got another chord. Yeah. So now you got two chords. You move it up again, you got three chords. Yeah. And move it up again, you got four chords. Yeah. And then again you got five. And then now you got six. Well, you don't need more than that. Yeah. So you can now put permutations of that, and you get songs, you know, like. And it's that same little shape. Yeah. But that shape is a marvelous shape. You can do anything with that shape. You know.
Did your dad teach you that shape?
No, we figured that out from. We had to know this to do Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, whole lot of shake going on. So once you figure that, So it really gets super fascinating, I think.
Absolutely.
You know, you've got all the chords you can play with, put those in permutations, then mess with the bass notes. Obvious thing to do is to do the note one octave down that relates to that chord. But you can do
Harmony.
and you're getting really dramatic now. And I think that's all we ever did, you know, just experimented. With John doing it, imagine, you can hear that's him.
Yeah.
It's just sort of what we'd learned based on that.
Yeah.
I saw John Legend the other night, and John's doing this. I forget what the song was, and then he sort of goes. But that's those.
Yeah.
You know, if you put some nice soul stuff over that, I've got my pain in my heart. You know, our favourite composer was Bach in the Beatles because it was nearest to what we were doing. And we would just say, just put a beat behind it. Be better.
Yeah.
Be better, man.
Yeah.
What I liked about it was the mathematical thing, so that you kind of go, well, in Eleanor Rigby. You do that. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you found out this is what they were doing. 1, 2, and then, you know, so you put those together, and then on top of it you might put. So you've got like, you know, 2 or 4 or 8.
Yeah.
Very
in the
simple
same space.
mathematics.
Yeah.
It's all happening together, so it gives this lovely feel of something satisfying.
That's nice. Right, nice. Alright, let's play Pennyland. and chorus. Not this one. And let's move to last chorus. Da 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 It's simple version, but I start to learn to play. These are some additional things I need to learn. The beginning is really tricky. This I need to wait like da 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 da. This rhythm dun 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 dun. This is tricky. Where was that? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Three, four, 1, 1 and 2 and and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 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 and 3 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and this like backbeat, like 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 really tricky. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 my mistake. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I need to play chord and sing. So that's really tricky. Da, da, da. One and two and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Really tricky reasoning. Maybe it's on bass. Da 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 ta 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 ta. So maybe with pick or maybe finger, it's easier like counting with physically. Da 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 da. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. And playing with piano is I need to run the backbeat. Down and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 2 and 3 and 4 and with chord. Really tricky. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and I'm playing this is da 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 da, stop and say hello, this part. Da 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 da, this part. When we think about too much, I cannot play. This is a tricky part. Let's play with slow paced. Da 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 da. This is tricky. Very tricky. Let's run from another video. Let's run Penny Lane or Beatles songs. How the Beatles wrote the perfect chord progression. Paul Davis. Let's go to the video.
You see, this is what I got on my first piano lesson at the conservatory while studying guitar, and it did two things for me. It made me realize I suck at piano. Come on, B major. What kind of key is that? 5 sharps. Who even does that? But maybe more so, it made me realize how interesting and lovely the compositions of the Beatles songs actually are. So we all know these songs. They are in our collective memory, ingrained in our collective memory. We take them for granted, but then when looking closer at the pieces, the arrangements, the compositions, it makes us realize there's so much more going on in the songs. So today, I'd love for us to take a look at the tune Penny Lane, written by Paul McCartney. So, as we said, the song is in the key of B major. And let's see how just playing the chord, how far that can take us.
Penny Lane, there is a bar, a show of photographs. Very handy.
Okay, well, at least one whole bar, but then we definitely need something different, right? So in part 2 we find 2-5-1, often called a turnaround as well, because it brings us back to the beginning chord, which results to C sharp minor to F sharp major and back to B. And indeed, it has a familiar ring to it, right?
Penny Lane, there is a bar, a show of photographs. Very handy.
Sounds great, right? But we need to get a step further to get closer to what ended up on the record, because in the basis of the very song lies not the 2-5-1, but another very commonly seen jazz progression: 1, 6, 2, 5, and back to 1. No, it doesn't mean anything to you? Well, we all know the progression. It's, for example, this. Always look on the bright side of life. Anyway, as we'll hear, it sounds great with the song Penny Lane.
Penny Lane, there is a mama show photographs. Very handy.
Sounds lovely. So now we can turn all the chords, apart from the first chord, into 7th chords, because apparently that's what they do in jazz, and it sounds fancy, and I'm a fancy man, Paul McCartney is a fancy man, so let's see how that sounds.
Penny Lane, there is a mama show photographs. Very handy.
Sweet, but aren't we talking about Paul McCartney? He's the bass dude, right? The bass player. And so far there isn't anything going on in that lower region. So let's enter walking bass. The most obvious thing is to see if we can walk from chord to chord. And yeah, we can follow the B major scale down, and we see that we can... Lovely, but now Paul does something great, because he extends that descending B major scale down all the way to E, where we actually should hear the C-sharp minor chord. And why not? Because the E note is found in the C-sharp minor chord already. It's the minor third, so it sounds great. So he keeps on walking to E, and then he plays the root note of the C-sharp minor chord after it, getting this. And of course, if you want to get back to the B major eventually, we need to play 5 chord. It just works so well. So after the C sharp minor 2, we play the 5, the F sharp 7th. And there we are.
Penny Lane, there is a mama show photographs. Very handy.
Alright, so this is the first round, and if you think that so far it isn't that special or unique, just wait 1 second, because there is something coming where Paul introduces us to his sheer brilliance. So where everyone would expect the same thing happening over again, he suddenly creeps up on us with maybe the most unexpected chord out there. Let's have a listen.
Penny Lane, there is a mama show photographs. Very handy and a pleasure to know.
It's a B minor chord in the key of B major, and it really comes out of nowhere, doesn't it? So this is something we call a borrowed chord. We land the chord from the relative key. The relative key is B minor, so we call this modal mixture, modal interchange, and it doesn't happen that often on the tonic, on the 1 chord. So if this chord doesn't sound that strange or spicy to you, that is simply because you just heard it so often, you take it for granted, but it is a very odd chord choice.
This is a B major da 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 and B major minor, and this da 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 da. This is little but really huge difference. And really changes impression of the song, and really something twist. And really iconic choice
out there. Just listen to the original mix, not the 2015 remaster. The original sounds better. Anyway, when that B minor chord comes along, the entire orchestration changes. It's highly emphasized. So the snare drum goes away, there's a new instrument that plucks the chord along with the piano. So they really want you to hear that B minor chord. They put it out there. So it's the 1 to the 6, and then to the 1 minor 7. And Paul sings that minor 7 note, by the way, to know, which is very cool. So now let's see how he continues in that B minor world all of a sudden. We know he goes back to B major eventually, but how? Well, probably via F sharp 7, but let's see what happens.
Penny Lane, there is a mama show photographs. people that come and go, stop and say hello. On the corner is a bank.
Alright, there is some spicy stuff going on. So after that B minor chord, he goes to a G sharp in the bass. He keeps that B minor on top, and then he puts the G sharp in the bass note, creating a G sharp minor 7 flat 5 or half diminished, or just B minor over G sharp, whatever you wish. But it is really unexpected, to be honest. I would expect the bass in that B minor realm going down via the B minor scale, creating sort of an Andalusian cadence. B minor over A, over G, and then F sharp.
Very Eddie's had a pleasure to know that all the people that come and go, stop and say hello.
So that works. But no, Paul chooses to play a G sharp. Sounds like
Very
this.
Eddie's had a pleasure to know that all the people that come and go, stop and say hello.
And that sounds really awesome. There's just a little bit more weight to that G sharp, right? It is sort of again a modal mixture, but now the other way around, because now we're in the B minor realm. We play a G sharp coming from the G major, or G minor Dorian. Anyway, it sounds great. So after that G sharp, we go down one semitone in the bass to a G major 7th, or a B minor over G. And then again, we go down one more semitone to F sharp, creating that F sharp 7 sus4 to F sharp 7, going down. And back to B major, the first chord of the verse again. So when we hit that B major chord again, we just do the same thing.
On the corner is a bank with a motor car. The little children laugh at him behind his back, and the banker never wears a mask in the pouring rain.
But this wouldn't be a Beatles song if there wasn't some sort of modulation craziness going on in there. And yes, we do change keys. So in the chorus, we go from B major, that we just played the verses, to A major. So where does that come from? Well, apparently from Paul's brain. But how do we get there? How do we get to that A major chord? So we need a chord that pushes us in the right direction, and we call that a...
Now the moving from verse to first chorus. And the bridge is really something special.
pivot chord.
Pure
A chord can be found in both keys. So a chord found in B major and a chord found in A major. That works well all the time. So we know that the 5 chord really begs us to go someplace. So what is the 5 chord of A, the new key? That would be E major. And E is also in the key of B major. It is the 4 chord. So now we get something very cool. After that, F sharp 7 sus 4, we play. So we use the E as a pivot chord, going from the key of B major to A major, and it is very strange. That is how you modulate to A major. So now there's just 3 basic chords, nothing too fancy going on. So listen. So nothing too fancy going on here, apart from it being super catchy and memorable. A major, A over C sharp, and a D major chord. But there is a problem. So how do we get back to the verses being in B major again? I guess we need another pivot chord, right? Or we could use something called a secondary dominant for this too, I guess. Because that second time around, we cut the D major in half where I just stopped playing. And we follow that with, again, 3 cheesy, not cheesy, it's just F sharp 7s again. Bringing us back to B major. Alright, so how does that sound in the context?
Penny Lane is in my ears and in my eyes. Beneath the blue suburban skies, I sit and dream while that Penny Lane there is a fire of an hourglass.
And that is how it's done. It sounds awesome, right? But we're not there yet, because at the end of every song, remember, there's always two choruses, right? Everyone wants to sing along and be happy, and they do something so clever, which adds even another modulation to, or are we going, anyway, there's something cool going on. So in the chorus, we always throw you back to the key of the verse, right? So in the chorus, we are in A major, and that's D major. Brings us back to the key of the verse of B. But in the second to last chorus, the same thing happens again. But no, we don't go to a verse, but we go to the chorus played in the key of the verse. So instead of A major, we play the chorus in B major, and it just sounds so awesome.
There beneath the blue suburban skies, I sit and meanwhile that Penny Lane is in my ears and in my eyes. There beneath the blue suburban skies, Penny Lane.
How cool does that sound? It sounds so super bright, right? Really milking that whole modulation game. Such a lovely display of what we can do with a secondary dominant, pivot chords, modal mixture, modulating. It's just really interesting to see how Paul McCartney writes these songs. Anyway, I made a whole video about the secondary dominant too, by the way. If you want to learn even more about it, you can check it out over.
Really nice. Got the A key, from A key, moving B key, and changing or transpose the key with the secondary dominant F sharp key, like 5-1. And F sharp. Maybe this is the difference. Oh, it's the same. It's the same one. So from A on A key, F sharp is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a 5. So it's a A key dominant, and also B key fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5. I made a mistake. So on A key it's a 6 and B key 5. So from A key moving 6, but from B key F sharp is 5th, so 5-1. So 1 moving like 1, 6, but it's also in different view 5-1. So it's really nice connection
here. And if you're just as much into playing acoustic guitar as I am, I would love for you to check out my guitar course, Acoustic Adventure. This is made for everyone that wants to play on.
Really nice. Well, let's play. Penguin. And verse and chorus. last chorus. Where was that? Really nice song. And I ran out. How was that key? C sharp. Really nice song. And running a lot from the song. Let's Run Penny Lane by Beatles. Penny Lane by Paul McCartney, Chord progression. Analyze.
Here we go. The first one I have picked, basically at random, is Penny Lane by Paul McCartney. Here's what I got. I'm going to play all these wrong in my own way, but... That is the verse. Let's see what's happening. We're starting in B, so we're in the key of B, and then we have a classic McCartney classical chord sequence 1 6 2 5 1 with the perfect cadence back onto the 1 again. All these chords are in the family of B. We've got the lovely G sharp minor, C sharp minor, so 1 6 2 5 1. However, he does then go adventurous and go from B minor to B major to B minor 7. G half diminished, and then G, that's got to be worth looking at, G to F sharp 7, which we know is going to go back to B. So let's talk about how we can do G sharp half diminished and then G. Whenever I see something this wild on a C chord chart, I can straight away think, well, what do I want that to be in a perfect world? I want it to be on this line here. I want it to be a C sharp chord. I've got no idea if I'm going down the wrong road here, but part of me would like to think that that G is a C sharp chord in disguise. Straight away I'm thinking I might be onto something, because G to C sharp is what we call a tritone, and tritone substitutions are one of the most common substitutions after the relative major and minor ones. So can we replay this putting in a C sharp major or minor? I don't know yet. Yes, but it doesn't sound as good. But we know that we're onto the right thing. I don't think it could be major. Actually, the major's not so bad. So that G is a substitution, but of course it sounds better. Second time, interesting. Second time bar here, we go into E. Now this modulation into the chorus is quite interesting, because this is not Paul McCartney's harmonic world. to go from B major and then modulate to A major. A major is outside the normal family of chords from B major. This is more, I would say, probably something I'd expect from Mr. Lennon, to be honest. It's a very bright change. It goes up in the range, although that doesn't tell us much about harmony. But from here, F sharp. Sounds like a kind of bright change, and I would say harmonically he doesn't really get away with it. There's no preparation to take us into A. We've seen the A chord up to that point. This isn't even an E7 chord, which we normally use, and the jump from F sharp 7 to E is unconvincing. It's often hard with Beatles songs, or any songs that we know really well, to say that's unusual, because we've heard it so much it sounds usual. There have definitely been chord progressions and sequences and melodies and arrangements that have become more tolerable and listenable to as a result of the Beatles and other songwriters writing them, and then we get used to hearing them. So you'll have to trust me that this is really unusual. Then we go to A and we have the chorus. Now, one thing we know, because this is a McCartney song, probably with Lennon songs as well, is that he's going to take us back to B. And he's got to do that with an F sharp 7. So we're in A. Let's find out how he does it. Deeply unconvincing from any rules of harmony set out in the past 350 years in the classical world, but it sounds great, and we're used to hearing it and we know it. What was it again? It was from D to F sharp 7. Before I get any further, probably should have said this at the start as well. Bass lines do not really show on here. That is deliberate because we're looking at harmony, we're looking at the chords, and the bass line often will follow its own path. Especially as Paul McCartney's playing. So it's, for the purposes of this, we won't get distracted by the bass line. That's basically it. We had the verse in B, we had an unconvincing modulation into A for the chorus, and then we had another unconvincing modulation back into B. It's Penny Lane, it's a brilliant song. Who am I to say what's convincing and what's unconvincing?
The Chord Whisperer.
It's nice. The modulation from B to B to A, like that. And I just realized E. This is a G sharp. It's half step to this, so maybe this is a leading note to A. Bass when they're connecting. if I think this as a G sharp sus4, da da da, da da da, very small. It's just the same note E. Da 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 da. Raise one and one. Da da da. Da 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 da. Da. Very nice. Connection of each chord. Really nice. Let's run Penny Lane. I thought this one was nice. How the Beatles wrote the perfect chord progression by Paul Davis.
Penny Lane, there is a barber showing photographs. Very handy.
Okay, well, at least one whole bar, but then we definitely need something different, right? So in part 2 we find 2-5-1, often called a turnaround as well, because it brings us back to the beginning chord, which results to C sharp minor, to F sharp major, and back to B. And indeed, it has a familiar ring to it, right?
Penny Lane, there is a barber showing photographs. Very handy.
Sounds great, right? But we need to get a step further to get closer to what ended up on the record, because in the basis of the very song lies not the 2-5-1, but another very commonly seen jazz progression: 1-6-2-5, and back to 1. No, doesn't mean anything to you? Well, we all know the progression. It's, for example, this. Always look on the bright side of life. Anyway, as we'll hear, it sounds great with the song Penny Lane.
Penny Lane, there is a barber showing photographs. Very handy.
Sounds lovely. So now we can turn all the chords, apart from the first chord, into seventh chords, because apparently that's what they do in jazz, and it sounds fancy, and I'm a fancy man, Paul McCartney is a fancy man, so let's see how that sounds.
Penny Lane, there is a barber showing photographs. Very handy.
sweet, but aren't we talking about Paul McCartney? He's the bass dude, right? The bass player. And so far there isn't anything going on in that lower region. So let's enter walking bass. The most obvious thing is to see if we can walk from chord to chord. And yeah, we can follow the B major scale down, and we see that we can... Lovely, but now Paul does something great because he extends that descending B major scale down all the way to E, where we actually should hear the C sharp minor chord. And why not? Because the E note is found in the C sharp minor chord already. It's the minor third, so it sounds great. So he keeps on walking to E, and then he plays the root note of the C sharp minor chord after it, getting this. And of course, if you want to get back to the B major eventually, we need to play the 5 chord. It just works so well. So after the C sharp minor, the 2, we play the 5, the F sharp 7th. And there we are.
Penny Lane, there is a barber showing photographs. Very handy,
Alright, so this is the first round, and if you think that so far it isn't that special or unique, just wait 1 second because there is something coming where Paul introduces us to his sheer brilliance. So where everyone would expect the same thing happening. Oh,
This is nice. Explain the...
over again. He suddenly creeps up on us with maybe the most unexpected chord out there. Let's have a listen.
Penny Lane, there is a barber showing photographs. Very handy, he's had a pleasure to know. And all the people.
It's a B minor chord in the key of B major, and it really comes out of nowhere, doesn't it? So this is something we call a borrowed chord. We land the chord from the relative key. The relative key is B minor, so we call this modal mixture, modal interchange, and it doesn't happen that often on the tonic, on the 1 chord. So if this chord doesn't sound that strange or spicy to you, that is simply because you just heard it so often, you take it for granted, but it is a very odd chord choice out there. Just listen to the original mix, not the 2015 remaster. The original sounds better. Anyway, when that B minor chord comes along, the entire orchestration changes. It's highly emphasized. So the snare drum goes away, there's a new instrument that blocks the chord along with the piano. So they really want you to hear that B minor chord. They put it out there. So it's the 1 to the 6 and then to 1 minor 7. And Paul sings that minor 7 note, by the way. To know, which is very cool. So now let's see how he continues in that B minor world all of a sudden. We know he goes back to B major eventually, but how? Well, probably via F sharp 7, but let's see what happens.
Penny Lane, there is a barber showing photographs. Very handy, he's had a pleasure to know. And all the people that come and go, stop and say hello. On the corner is a bank.
Alright, there's some spicy stuff going on. So after that B minor chord, he goes to a G sharp in the bass. He keeps that B minor on top, and then he puts the G sharp in the bass note, creating a G sharp minor 7 flat 5, or half diminished, or just B minor over G sharp, whatever you wish. But it is really unexpected, to be honest. I would expect the bass in that B minor realm going down via the B minor scale, creating sort of an Andalusian cadence. B minor over A, over G, and then F sharp.
Very handy, he's had a pleasure to know. And all the people that come and go, stop and say hello.
So that works. But no, Paul chooses to play a G sharp.
Very handy, he's had a pleasure to know. And all the people that come and go, stop and say hello.
And that sounds really awesome. There's just a little bit more weight to that G sharp, right? It is sort of again a modal mixture, but now the other way around, because now we're in the B minor realm. We play a G sharp coming from the G major or G minor Dorian. Anyway, it sounds great. So after that G sharp, we go down one semitone in the bass to a G major 7th or a B minor over G. And then again, we go down one more semitone to F sharp, creating that F sharp 7 sus4 to F sharp 7, going down. And back to B major, the first chord of the verse again. So when we hit that B major chord again, we just do the same thing.
On the corner is a bank with a motor car. The little children laugh at him behind his back. And the bank never wears a mask in the pouring rain.
But this wouldn't be a Beatles song if there wasn't some sort of modulation craziness going on in there. And yes, we do change keys. So in the chorus, we go from B major, that we just played the verses, to A major. So where does that come from? Well, apparently from Paul's brain, but how do we get there? How do we get to that A major chord? So we need a chord that pushes us in the right direction, and we call that a pivot chord. A chord can be found in both keys, so a chord found in B major and a chord found in A major. That works well all the time. So we know that the 5 chord really begs us to go someplace. So what is the 5 chord of A, the new key? That would be E major. And E is also in the key of B major. It is the 4 chord. So now we get something very cool. After that, F sharp 7 sus4, we play. So we use the E as a pivot chord, going from the key of B major to A major, and it is very strange. That is how you modulate to A major. So now there's just 3 basic chords, nothing too fancy going on. So listen. So nothing too fancy going on here, apart from it being super catchy and memorable. A major, A over C sharp, and a D major chord. But there is a problem. So how do we get back to the verses being in B major again? I guess we need another pivot chord, right? Or we could use something called a secondary dominant for this too, I guess. Because the second time around, we cut the D major in half where I just stopped playing. And we follow that with, again, 3 cheesy, not cheesy, it's just F sharp 7s again. Bringing us back to B major. Alright, so how does that sound in the context?
Penny Lane is in my ears and in my eyes. Beneath the blue suburban skies, I see the meanwhile that Penny Lane is a fire with an hourglass.
And that is how it's done. It sounds awesome, right? But we're not there yet, because at the end of every song, remember, there's always 2 choruses, right? Everyone wants to sing along and be happy, and they do something so clever, which adds even another modulation to, or are we going, anyway, there's something cool going on. So in the chorus, we always throw you back to the key of the verse, right? So in the chorus, we are in A major, and that's D major. Brings us back to the key of the verse of B. But in the second to last chorus, the same thing happens again. But no, we don't go to a verse, but we go to the chorus played in the key of the verse. So instead of A major, we play the chorus in B major, and it just sounds so awesome.
There beneath the blue silver skies, I see it. Meanwhile, the Penny Lane is in my
how cool does that sound? It sounds so super bright, right? Really milking that whole modulation game. Such a lovely display of what we can do with a secondary dominant, pivot chords, modal mixture, modulating. It's just really interesting to see how Paul McCartney writes these songs. Anyway, I made a whole video about the secondary dominant too, by the way, if you want to learn even more about it. The bright side of life. And it sounds fancy. He's the bass dude.
Really nice. The modulation and secondary dominant. That's the connect out.
Well, they would do 1, 2, and then so you put those together, and then on top of it you might put. You know, I meet a lot of young groups, and I say, I can't read music or write it. They go, what? And it's like, well, that doesn't work. Well, if you've done this, how can you do it without? But it means that it's here. It's not on a bit of paper. I tell kids who want to learn the piano, I say, okay, here's you go. Start with middle C. We all know that. It's the first thing in the piano lesson. And then think about like the Eddie Cochran thing. You say, well, that's a chord if you play those together. And you just got that. Remember this and that. So you do that, one space, finger, one space, finger. So there you got the chord. I say, you know, we started there. And so you could kind of write a song with that. But if you just move this up one, it's the same shape. You've got another chord. Now you got 2 chords. You move it up again, you got 3 chords. And move it up again, you got 4 chords. And then again, you got 5. And then now you got 6. Well, you don't need more than that. So you can now put permutations of that. And you get songs you're going. It's that same little shape. But that shape is a marvelous shape. You can do anything with that shape. You know.
Did your dad teach you that shape?
No, we figured that out. We had to go this to do Jerry Lee Lewis. Oh, baby, whole lot of shape moving on. So once you figure that, so it really gets super fascinating, I think.
Absolutely.
You know, you got all the chords you can play, you put those in permutations, then mess with the bass notes. Obvious thing to do is to do the note 1 octave down that relates to that chord, or what you can do.
Harmony.
Really dramatic now. And I think that's all we ever did, you know, just experimented. John doing Imagine, you can hear that's him. It's just what we learned based on that. I saw John Legend the other night, and John's doing this. Forget what the song was. And then he sort of goes. But that's those. You know, if you put some nice soul stuff over that. I got my pain in my heart. You know. Our favourite composer was Bach in the Beatles because it was nearest to what we were doing. We used to say, just put a beat behind it. Be better.
Yeah.
Be better, man.
Yeah.
What I liked about it was the mathematical thing, so that you kind of go, well, Eleanor Rigby. You do that. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you found out this is what they would do. 1, 2, and then so you put those together, and then on top of it you might put. So you've got like 2 or 4 or 8 singing the piano, and then think about like the Eddie Cochran thing.
That's nice. Move forward. Let's play Penny Lane. And E. Little by little I still point. And where was that? and and trumpet. Where was that? Penny, penny, Alright, let's play again. And now I focus on chord. B, A sharp, B, B minor, and G sharp. F sharp, and B, A sharp, B, B minor, B, G sharp, G, F sharp, da da, E, and A, D, D, da da da, D, yeah, F sharp, da 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 da, and B, F sharp, B, B minor, G, G sharp, F sharp, and trumpet solo. Da 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 da. Da and F sharp. And the last chorus. B, and E. And E. Now I run little baritone. Right, good.
So start straight away in the key of B, very bright. But then we go to the minor instead, B minor. So we've gone from B major to B minor, really unusual thing to do, and it's just so starkly dark in that moment. Which is something we see kind of in the lyrics as well, like bright images contrasted with darker images, creating this sort of sharp contrast. So we get to the minor chord, and then we go through another verse, but when we get to the chorus, it's not in B, instead we have a really unconventional key change downwards. Often key changes go in the upwards direction, so you'd be in B, and maybe you'd go up to C, you'd get this kind of uplift. But instead, they're in B, we go down to A.
Lovely, but now Paul does something great because he extends that descending beam. It's, for example, this. Great, right? But we need to get a step further to get closer to it and end up on the record. Because on the basis of the very song lies not the 2-5-1, but another very commonly seen jazz progression. 1, 6, 2, 5, and back to 1. No, it doesn't mean anything to you? Well, we all know the progression. It's, for example, this. Always look on the bright side of life. Anyway, as we'll hear, it sounds great with the song Penny Lane.
Penny Lane, there is a bar, show photographs. Very
Sounds lovely. So now we can turn all the chords, apart from the first chord, into 7th chords, because apparently that's what they do in jazz, and it sounds fancy. And I'm a fancy man, Paul McCartney is a fancy man, so let's see how that sounds.
Penny Lane, there is a bar, show photographs. Very
Sweet, but aren't we talking about Paul McCartney? He's the bass dude, right? The bass player. And so far there isn't anything going on in the lower region. So let's enter a walking bass. The most obvious thing is to see we can walk from chord to chord. And yeah, we can follow the B major scale down, and we see that again. Lovely, but now Paul does something great because he extends that descending B major scale down all the way to E, where we actually should hear the C-sharp minor chord. And why not? Because the E note is found in the C-sharp minor chord already. It's the minor third, so it sounds great. So he keeps on walking to E, and then he plays the root note of the C-sharp minor chord after it, getting this. And of course, if you want to get back to the B major eventually, we need to play the 5 chord. It just works so well. So after the C sharp minor, the 2, we play the 5, the F sharp 7th. we are.
Penny Lane, there is a bar, show photographs of every head he's had.
Alright, so this is the first round, and if you think that so far it isn't that special or unique, just wait 1 second because there is something coming where Paul introduces us to his sheer brilliance. So where everyone would expect the same thing happening over again, he suddenly creeps up on us with maybe the most unexpected chord out there. Let's have a listen.
Penny Lane, there is a bar, show photographs of every head he's had a pleasure to know.
It's a B minor chord in the key of B major, and it really comes out of nowhere, doesn't it? So this is something we call a borrowed chord. We lend the chord from the relative key. The relative key is B minor, so we call this modal mixture, modal interchange, and it doesn't happen that often on the tonic, on the one chord. So
This is really nice on the song. And this is not on the B major key, that's why it's called borrowed chord. B minor. It's nice.
if this chord doesn't sound that strange or spicy to you, that is simply because you just heard it so often, you take it for granted. But it is a very hot chord choice out there. Just listen to the original mix, not the 2015 remaster. The original sounds better. Anyway, when that B minor chord comes along, the entire orchestration changes. It's highly emphasized. So the snare drum goes away, there's a new instrument that plugs the chord along with the piano. So they really want you to hear that B minor chord. They put it out there. So it's the 1 to the 6 and then to the 1 minor 7. And Paul sings that minor 7 note, by the way, to know, which is very cool. So now let's see how he continues in that B minor world all of a sudden. We know he goes back to B major eventually, but how? Well, probably via F sharp 7. But let's see what happens.
Penny Lane, there is a bar, show photographs of every head he's had a pleasure to know. And all the people that come and go, stop and say hello. On the corner is a bank.
Alright, there is some spicy stuff going on. So after that B minor chord, he goes to a G sharp in the bass. He keeps that B minor on top, and then he puts the G sharp in the bass note, creating a G sharp minor 7 flat 5, or half diminished, or just B minor over G sharp, whatever you wish. But it is really unexpected, to be honest. I would expect the bass in that B minor realm going down via the B minor scale, creating sort of an Andalusian cadence. B minor over A, over G, and then F sharp.
Every head he's had a pleasure to know. And all the people that come and go, stop and say hello.
So that works. But no, Paul chooses to play a G sharp. Sounds like
Every
this.
head he's had a pleasure to know. And all the people that come and go, stop and say hello.
And that sounds really awesome. There's just a little bit more weight to that G sharp, right? It is sort of, again, a modal mixture, but now the other way around, because now we're in the B minor realm. We play a G sharp coming from the G major, or G minor Dorian. Anyway, it sounds great. So after that G sharp, we go down 1 semitone in the bass to a G major 7th, or a B minor over G. And then again, we go down 1 more semitone to F sharp, creating that F sharp 7 sus4 to F sharp 7, going down, and back to B major, the first chord of the verse again. So when we hit that B major chord again, we just do the same thing all
On the
over.
corner is a banker with a motor car. The little children laughing at him behind his back. And on the banker never wears a mask in the pouring rain.
But this wouldn't be a Beatles song if there wasn't some sort of modulation craziness going on in there. And yes, we do change keys. So in the chorus, we go from B major, that we just played in the verses, to A major. So where does that come from? Well, apparently from Paul's brain, but how do we get there? How do we get to that A major chord? So we need a chord that pushes us in the right direction, and we call that a pivot chord. A chord that can be found in both keys. So a chord found in B major and a chord found in A major. That works well all the time. So we know that the 5 chord really begs us to go someplace. So what is the 5 chord of A, the new key? That would be E major. And E is also in the key of B major. It is the 4 chord. So now we get something very cool. After that, F sharp 7 sus 4, we play. So we use the E as a pivot chord, going from the key of B major to A major, and it is very strange. That is how you modulate to A major. So now there's just 3 basic chords, nothing too fancy going on, so listen. So nothing too fancy going on here, apart from it being super catchy and memorable. A major, A over C sharp, and a D major chord. But there is a problem. So how do we get back to the verses being in B major again? I guess we need another pivot chord, right? Or we could use something called a secondary dominant for this too, I guess. Because that second time round, we cut the D major in half, where I just stopped playing. And we follow that with, again, 3 cheesy, not cheesy, it's just F sharp 7s again. Bringing us back to B major. Alright, so how does that sound in the context?
Penny Lane is in my ears and in my eyes. There beneath the blue suburban skies, I see them. Meanwhile, that Penny Lane, there is a fire under an hourglass.
And that is how it's done. It sounds awesome, right? But we're not there yet, because at the end of every song, remember, there's always 2 choruses, right? Everyone wants to sing along and be happy, and they do something so clever, which adds even another modulation to, or are we going, anyway, there's something cool going on. So in the chorus, we always throw you back to the key of the verse, right? So in the chorus, we are in A major, and that's D major. Brings us back to the key of the verse of B. But in the second to last chorus, the same thing happens again. But no, we don't go to a verse, but we go to the chorus played in the key of the verse. So instead of A major, we play the chorus in B major, and it just sounds so awesome. It's so super bright, right? Really milking that whole modulation game. Such a lovely display of what we can do with a secondary dominant, pivot chords, modal mixture, modulating. It's just really interesting to see how Paul McCartney writes these songs. Anyway, I made a whole video about the secondary dominant too, by the way. If you want to learn even more about it, you can check it out over here. And if you're just as much into playing acoustic guitar as I am, I would love for you to check out my guitar course, Acoustic Adventure. This is made for everyone that wants to play awesome fingerstyle or with the song Penny Lane.
Penny Lane, there is a
He learns a lot from the song. was that? Five and one. That's understanding the 5-1 makes me easier to remember. And how was it? How was da da da? Da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe E. 5 and 1. So. One, two, three, 4, and go back to B and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Da, da, da. And ready for changing A. And going A. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. So E. And going B, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's easier to remember now. It's easier to remember the B and going key change modulation to A. So when going to B to A, there's 5 of A, 1, 2, 4, 4, 5. So da da. So the pivot chord. And B going back to B, so 5 will be 1, 2, 4, 5. So F sharp. Da, 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 da. And going to E, A, so fifth. So in my heart. And go back to B, so 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a nice familiar song, and also the five, 1 and 5, 1. These chord progression help me to understand the song. So 6, 5, 1. Going back to B key, both using B, but I think there's some difference. The vocal from B, maybe this this melody line or riff makes some key point this one we really use a lot. The trumpet solo, this 3 note is really important. B, C sharp, and D sharp. And on some transition, use B, C sharp, and D, natural D. And on last chorus in B key, it's a so it's a penny rain, it's a major third. So maybe that's the reason the last chorus is bright. The interval might be the key. At the first of the song, so it's a chromatic, like the smooth but on the last chorus it's similar, but having the very bright tone. at first. This is not that bright than this. Da 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 da. Now I think I understand more about the song than before. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Where was it? So, it might be said that on the first part, very early part of the song, is actually playing the B nice. The melody contains this, so da 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 da. Maybe this ninth is a key of major chord, but the melody line has a ninth, so it's not like everything bright, like more like nostalgic. So maybe on the really beginning of the song, playing B nice, Benny da 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 da, B nice and B might describe the nostalgic tone of the song. Major penny down, penny down. Penny and E. La da da. Da 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 da. Da da da. Da 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 da. Da da da. And F7, so and E7. and go back to A. Alright, I learned a lot from the song. Now I'm so hungry. Maybe I need to get honey pie. Thank you for watching. Hit the like and subscribe.
You know, I meet a lot of young groups and I say, I can't read music or write it. They go, what? And it's like, well, that doesn't work. Well, if you've done this, how can you do it without? But it means that it's here. It's not on a bit of paper. I tell kids who want to learn the piano, I say, okay, here's you go. Start with middle C. They all know that as the first thing in the piano lesson. And then think about like the Eddie Cochran thing. I said, well, that's a chord if you play those together. And you just got that, remember this and that. So you do that, one space, finger, one space, finger. So then you got the chord. I say, you know, we started there. Mm-hmm. And so you could kind of write a song with that. Yeah. But if you just move this up one, it's the same shape. Yeah. You've got another chord. Yeah. So now you got two chords. Move it up again, you got three chords, and move it up again, you got four chords, and then again you got five, and then now you got six. Well, you don't need more than that. Yeah. So you can now put permutations of that, and you get songs. You know, like. It's that same little shape, but that shape is a marvelous shape. You can do anything with that shape. You know.
Did your dad teach you that shape?
No, we figured that out. We had to know this to do Jerry Lee Lewis. Yeah. Oh, baby, hold on, shake, move on. So once you figure that, so it really gets super fascinating, I think.
Absolutely.
You know, you've got all the chords you can play with, put those in permutations, then mess with the bass notes. Obvious thing to do is to do the